Hi, everyone, and welcome to the next interview of the Master of Manifestation Online Summit 2020. Today, I'm with Ling. Hi, Ling. Welcome.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to have you here today. Ling is a holistic educator on sexuality and empowerment for women. And I really like her story. I really like her singular story, background, and how she built her business. I've been inspired by that, and that's why I reach out to you, Ling, so that you can inspire other people about what happened to you in the past that allow you to create a business that today allow you to be fulfilled and to be financially free and to give to other people. So I will give you 5 minutes where you can introduce yourself with your own words about your life journey and life experience so that people know more about you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Ling. As Kevin said, I'm a holistic educator on sexuality and women empowerment. So, for me, basically, my work is about helping women reconnect with their source of power, with their life force, which is sexual energy, and then manifest whatever they want to manifest in this world. So it can be a relationship, it can be phenomenal sex, it can be wealth, and it can be relationship of any kind, like business partnership or romantic relationship or better relationship with their kids or their family members. And also, it can be art, it can be a company, it can be an idea and innovation or better communication or connection with their higher self, with the spirits. And can be, and they can manifest health, better health, or just really anything they want in their life
Okay.
with activating their sexual energy. And the way I came to this work is pretty much like my own pain that is transformed into power. And I feel pretty much chosen by the others for this work rather than me choosing the work. So it's a calling, it's a vocation. So my own story, like this work is very closely related to my personal story. I remember being a kid, I was very ashamed of my own sexual energy, which was just too powerful and too intense that I was pretty much ashamed of my own desire, which is actually a very healthy, natural desire, or it's like kind of compensation mechanism that my body and my soul is craving um, in response to the lack of intimacy, lack of connection, lack of touch, and lack of feeling of just union in my life. My life was full of separation and conflicts and cold violence and all this from my family, my upbringing, my school. So the only way I could just enjoy a little bit of feeling of connection and love is through sex or like through masturbation or watching porns and whatever. Um, for the little 5-year-old that I was. And I believe I'm not the only one. But I did think I was the only one, so I was really ashamed. And I've been suppressing myself so much to the point I'm sabotaging my own health, my own body. I have problems with my kidneys due to over masturbation, and my relationship with guys, with boys, are just like non-existent until I was 20. So like all that sexual energy that was repressed didn't find a healthy way to come out, so it came back to attack myself. So I was without confidence. I don't feel I have the right to exist. I wanted to kill myself at the age of 10 because of my parents' like domestic violence and all the conflict. So I was really like a miserable kid and very bad health as well. And all that started to change when I left my country, which is China, and came to France and England to study my bachelor in literature and then my master in holistic science. So I got to see a whole new way of living. I got to see the bad sides and the good sides. So I got to re-evaluate myself, my life, and have a whole new approach to sexuality, to my own body, to my health. Um, and I must say, it was those years of exploring, traveling all around the world, in different cultures, like with indigenous people and with Westerners, with the most advanced thinkers in the world, and all that really changed me profoundly. It allowed me to see my sexuality in a more healthy way. I realized my connection with nature is what ultimately can save me. My wild woman inside is what ultimately can lead me to much more fulfilled life in every way, like in sexuality, in child raising, pregnancy, birth, and in my career. So it was really following this primal instincts. People call it with all kinds of names, and
Mhm.
it's for me. It's just like sexuality is part of it, but it's not all. Like it's the my primal instinct as an animal that my exploration on this path with my own body that led me to where I am today. So basically, um, like many girls, I met a guy and then I got pregnant very fast without wanting it, and then I decided to have the baby. And because of like out of consideration for the health of the baby and my own, the well-being of both of us, I decided to give birth at home. And that changed everything about my relationship with my body and my sexuality, and the way I live also. So I gave birth at home, which is very unusual in China, and I got media coverage and all that attention from a lot of people because I did it basically without doctors or midwife. Um, and I had no medical background whatsoever. I just believe in the power of my body and of nature, of our primal instinct and wisdom. Um, and it went really well, surprisingly, for a lot of people. I had a beautiful experience, which is a traumatic experience, or the most traumatic experience for a lot of women in China because of the violence that happened in the birth room. So I became kind of famous, and people have started to ask me to help them give birth at home. And that led to my entrepreneurship journey because I was working 9 to 5 in a company as a nature educator, connecting people with nature and with their own nature. That was a great work, a great job. I love it, but it was 9 to 5. I couldn't really raise my kid in the way I want, which is totally naturally, like very close to her. And I have to go back to work 2 months after birth, because my ex-husband never worked. It's always me supporting the family. So, and he was bipolar, so I just had to take care of myself and my daughter's health. Basically, we were pushed to such a place with no return. So I had to just drop everything and just went on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur. And I didn't even know I was an entrepreneur at that point. I just knew I quit my job and I didn't know what to do. And the first thing I did was bought a I bought a plane ticket to Bali and joined this doula workshop because of this request from this mother who was a friend of mine, who wanted me to help her give birth at home. So I thought I gotta get trained before I help someone. So yeah, so I just came to Bali and learned about the art or the science of birth work, birth worker, and then
Okay.
I went back to help, and everything started from there. Yeah.
Okay. Great. That's a very inspiring and beautiful story. As you said, it's there's a lot of pain, but it's usually the pain point of our life that drive our future, and recraft our life in between those pain point that we experience. And I love the way you talk about it, like highlighting the beautiful side of the pain point that allow you to be who you are today.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, as you say, there is a lot of controversial topics in what you say, especially because it was a few years ago, and it was in China where, like, we know that China can be more strict
Yeah.
on certain topics compared to Western countries.
Yeah.
So it demands more courage to do what you did in China than in France or in US, for example.
Totally.
So you were an employee, um, and yeah, that's what I like about your story. What I like is like you never had that vision of being an entrepreneur. You never had that specific desire or will to have your own business, etc. It really comes from a calling from outside, literally,
Well,
right?
actually, I did, when you speak now, it reminded me I did
Hmm.
have a desire to be a social entrepreneur when I was 20.
Okay.
Because when I first went to France, I saw this entrepreneur, like in my college, I saw this entrepreneurship competition.
Hmm.
And because I just started to do some charity work and social work at that point. Actually, my college, like my favorite work in college is social work. So I'm very passionate about just improving people's well-being, especially the minority people, um, for nature, for wildlife, women and kids, and disabled people like that. And I just wanted to create a social entrepreneur program that is able to solve some social problems. But I totally didn't think about how to make money out of it.
Hmm.
So that was probably not a proper business idea, but just like a almost like a charity project idea.
Okay.
But yeah, but I did think about this word social entrepreneurship when I was
Okay.
20. Yeah.
Okay. So what you're doing right now is kind of, it's not social entrepreneurship
No.
in the common way, but there is a lot of similarities in terms of
Yeah,
the service that you provide
totally.
today. That it's a social work.
Yeah,
Um,
it's totally social work. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, so that's beautiful that there is
Just
that
making more money.
manifestation of, yeah, of what you wanted to accomplish deep down. But when you
Yeah.
first created that business, it was really a calling from outside, and an opportunity that came to you rather than you
Yeah.
chasing it, right?
Yeah, I'm just
Um,
answering the call when people need me, when they want me to help. It's almost like a friend's request, and then I just answered it. I said,
mhm.
"Yeah, I'm here to help." Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk with that. So you were in China, and there is
Hmm.
that friend of yours who were in Bali,
No, she was in
who,
Hong Kong.
she was in Hong Kong, but then
Yeah,
she
I just
asked you
got
to go to
educated in
Bali.
Bali. I
Okay.
She didn't ask me. I just thought I should get educated, and I just got this invitation from a friend in Hong Kong who asked me to come to Bali to join this workshop. Okay, so it's like synchronicity. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I just came to Bali. I didn't even know what Bali was, where Bali is, so I just went.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she come with you?
This friend came with me, not the mother that I
Okay.
helped, but this friend came with me. Yeah,
Okay. And what w- what was the kind of resistance that you faced inside before to say yes,
there was no
before to
resistance.
take? No, nothing at all.
No, I immediately bought the ticket. There was no resistance. Maybe the only concern was money
Mm-hmm.
because I after I quit my job, I have no money left.
Mm-hmm.
There was no savings. And I didn't know like how much money it would take. It's a very expensive retreat
Mm-hmm.
workshop that I almost spent all my money and savings on. Um, but I just felt such a fuck yes. So I just
Mm-hmm.
follow my intuition like that. That was me. That is still me. Like I don't really think too much before spending money on something that
Okay.
my intuition tells me is right.
Okay.
I always trust somehow money will find a way to come to me. It's never a big problem for me in my life.
Okay. Have you always been thinking like that, or not?
I think for the things that I really love, I don't really hesitate so much with money.
Okay.
And I have a very simple life, so I don't need luxury. I don't spend money on useless things. So, but when it comes to something that I feel is really meaningful, that can really change my life, there's something I deeply want, and something especially that can help others, then there's no hesitation for me.
Okay.
But there was a lot of resistance from my mom because she was worried that I will stupidly spend all this money on something useless and I don't even have a business plan or any plan to like how to make money out of this because help this mom for me it's like a no pay job for me at that time. I was just
Mm-hmm.
trying to
Okay.
help her. I don't know how I can make a living by being a doula or something. It wasn't my plan to become a doula and make money out of the birth education.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome those thoughts about money and the resistance that you were facing, but coming from your mom? Like, what helped you to still going for it?
I think that's my personality. Like, if I want something, nobody can stop me. I don't really listen to other people's opinions. I'm pretty
Mhm.
stubborn. Yeah. And
So,
sometimes it's maybe acting on a sudden impulse, not
mhm,
really thinking much. That's maybe my weakness sometimes. But when I feel, I think it's also the call of the land of Bali because in at first I don't know where Bali was, but then when I read about it, I was like, wow, I didn't know such a place exists because I remember before I quit my job, I wrote a vision about the life I want, the kind of house I want, the kind of environment I want to live in, the kind of food I want to have, the kind of people I want to be neighbors with, and what I want to be doing every day. And I didn't know such a place like Bali exists, and but it fits every single criteria of my dream life, and I'm living it every single day right now after 5 years. After 3 years, actually, I started to live here 2 years ago, but I didn't know before I went there. And when I wrote it down, and then when I looked up Bali, I was just like, this land is amazing. So
mhm,
there's like every cell of my body is crying like, go there. So it's more for this land also that I wanna, and also I feel there's a lot of exhaustion in my body and in my system at that moment after all these trials and tortures with my ex-husband, and my daughter was sick and my work drained me and everything. I was in desperate need of healing, and Bali just feels like a place that is very nourishing and welcoming and full of joy, and I just felt that's what I needed for my soul right then. And it's
mhm.
not, yeah, I was desperate. So
Okay.
there was no doubt.
So yeah, somehow the feeling of fuck yeah, go to Bali was that strong that it helped you to literally stop thinking and just following your intuition because inside you knew that it was the good thing to do no matter what.
Yeah, for big decisions in life, I don't really think so much. It's
Hmm.
like deciding to have my baby, deciding to go to France to study, leave my country behind, and deciding to be a single mom, deciding to, yeah, there's a lot of big decisions in my life. I think the bigger the decision is, smaller the resistance because
Hmm.
it's coming from a higher place that's pure. And when it comes to what am I gonna eat tonight and all this, it's small decisions. It's takes more energy for me to make because it's like trivial. It doesn't really matter. Like there's so many choices, but big decisions, I don't think I have so much hesitation because I have been the kind of kid who knows what she wants since a very young age.
Hmm.
And if I want something, I write it down and I get it. It's like that's how I've been doing since I was 7. So I
Okay.
don't really swing that much between choices. Yeah.
Okay. So that I'm going to ask you a question that I usually ask at the end of the interview, but I want to ask it now.
Okay.
What would be your best advice for people who have like a powerful idea, an exciting intuition, but they're stopping themselves from going for it because they're afraid of the outcome, because they don't know what is going to happen, and they're lacking the confidence to going for it. What would be your best advice for those people who, in order to follow their intuition?
I always believe a sentence that I heard many years ago, and I 1,000 times proved it right, whether it's in relationships or in business, in important life decisions, including having my kid and everything. And that sentence is 10 years from now, you will be regretting much more for things you haven't done than for the things you have done. So most of the time and most people really die with their music still inside them. And I don't want that to happen to me. I know there's a lot more in me than what was being allowed to come out in my nine to
Hmm.
five job, or in a fixed, boring relationship, or environment. So I would say most of the fears, like you said, the fear of like this is not gonna go well, or da 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 da, like you wouldn't know until you've done it. And even if really you fail, I would say most of the people who are listening to this, I guess we are like between 20 to 30 or 40 max. But nowadays people can live up to 100 years old, so you are not even half of your life yet. So why don't we just spend time trying those things? We have a lot of time to try. If we fail, we can just go back. um, but if you don't do it, you never know like how good life can be. It's like
Yeah.
the difference between living in a golden cage, being fed on time every day by some people, even it's a huge cage, versus being wild and free and you can explore everywhere in the world. Basically,
Hmm.
like, I want to be wild and free. I
Okay.
don't want to be in a golden cage. But that's a choice. Again, there's no right or wrong. But it's just like if we don't get out of the cage, we'll never know how big and how wonderful life can be.
True. I agree
Um,
on that.
so that's my advice. And I would say when you think, it's always problems gonna come out. But when you
Hmm.
act, that's where the answer will be discovered. If we don't act, if we don't do it, we'll never find the answer. And we'll always be living in fear. Action is the best cure for fear, because only when we act, we know whether the fear is true or not. If it's not true, then just fuck it. If it's true, then just find a way to deal with it, to go over it like water. But if we just think and then feeling scared in thinking, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to know which way is not working or what we can do to solve the problem. We're just going to live in fear all our life in this cage. So,
Yeah. That's beautifully said. Um, it's like once you do something that is afraid, that makes you feel afraid, that scares you, then there is no fear anymore because you've done this thing. So you cannot be
yeah,
afraid of something that is done already. So
yeah,
um, yeah, just do it.
yeah.
And
Just do it.
reflecting on what you say, like yesterday, I was driving and I was thinking about that. It's people are afraid to invest their money, to spend their money in order to follow their intuition, to follow something that they really want because they're afraid. But money, I mean, you can lose money and you can make money again. But what you lose and that you cannot take back is your time.
Yeah,
All the time that you spend worrying, being afraid, not acting, is it time that is wasted. You can
yeah,
waste money, you can lose money maybe, but you will always have a way to make money again. Like money is like it
yeah,
comes and goes and that's all, but the time that you spend is over.
yeah,
So value time more than money,
yeah,
because time is your most valuable resource.
yeah. We all have the same resource every day, and some people use it more wisely, some people use it very stupidly. So that's why we have all this difference. It's not about
Exactly.
how much money we were born with or how many opportunities we were born with. It's like how much time we spend on the things we really want every single
Hmm.
day and all the choices we make.
True. So before to keep going with your journey, I want to go back on something that you say about writing down what you want. And you say that since you were 7 or since you were a child, you always wrote on what you wanted and
Yeah,
you always got it. So
almost.
the
Not
almost
100%, but
okay.
and not all the time exactly as the goal says, because
Mm,
every goal has a deadline for me, and it has a degree of completion for me, like what degree I want to do, and until that degree, that means it's done. So it's not always 100% that degree or exactly before that deadline, but the thing itself, I got it done most of the time. Yeah,
okay. And how important is it for you to do that in the art of manifestation? How important
that's
for you
every
it is to write down?
not exactly write down. Sometimes it's just about having a very clear idea in your mind, in your
Hmm.
heart, in your whole system. Breathe it, think about it, do it. You don't really necessarily need to write it down, but my way of making it better, more clear, and keep reminding me is writing it down and put it somewhere I can see every single day, like
Hmm.
on my desktop or on my toilet, on my next to bed or something. Just keep reminding myself of my goal this today or this month or this year, why I'm here, and just keep focusing, laser focus my attention and energy and time on that. That has been very important for
Okay.
manifestation, because it's like if you are a boat with sails, like wind power only,
Hmm.
no, which is a better, it's a better metaphor for life, because I don't think we really have, if we say our life is like a motorboat, then it's like almost we can go wherever we want. But the real life is not like this. I would say our life is more like a boat with sails. And if you don't have a direction where you want to go, no matter which direction the wind is blowing, you can't use it because you don't know where you're going. But if you know that's where you want to go, then no matter how the wind outside is blowing, means no matter how the environment changes, you can always adjust your sail to make you go that direction or towards somehow, not straight, but towards that direction in the end.
Hmm.
So goal is everything. If we don't have goal, sailing is very dangerous on the sea. And life is like ever changing sea. We
True.
must have a direction. And if we don't have a direction, we'll be pushed to something, to some direction we might not want to go unconsciously. And that's very dangerous.
And to talk on that, to set a goal that you really desire, to set a
A
goal that
direction.
you that your soul, that you're craving inside, not just a goal for a goal, but something that you're aligned with, that's
Yeah,
that like
that's,
following your intuition, that you really feel right.
yeah, follow your bliss, basically, I would say. Yeah,
Okay. Do you also visualize? Do you do visualization of your
yeah.
desire and your goals?
Oh, yeah, it's super important. When I write down my dream life 5 years ago, I wrote it down so much in detail that I even include, like, when I wake up in the morning, I go for a walk in the jungle and there'll be dews on the leaves. Like, I
Hmm.
make it to details like that. And I say I want to pick up coconuts and details like that. And I always make vision boards. So I would spend really a lot of time Googling really high quality and very exact, accurate image of the person I want to attract, or the kind of lifestyle, or the kind of house that I want to attract, and then print it out and then have plastic on top so that it doesn't get, dirty or whatever. And then put it on my vision board that I can see every single day. It's
Great.
very important. Visualization is so powerful. And sometimes I can really get the results so fast that I cannot believe. I remember once I was printing out a photo of a couple traveling in Penida on the Diamond Beach. And I didn't know it was called Diamond Beach. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know it was in Penida Island. And I just love that photo and that post on Instagram so much of this couple. And I just print it out and then put it next to my bed and watch it. And that at that time, I haven't dated anyone. I haven't had sex or have any man for 2 years. I was so much in the pain of my past relationship that already ended for 2 years. And then somehow, after a few days, I met a guy, and then we started off as friends. And then after a few days, we decided to travel randomly without really thinking much. We ended up both on this island, and we were walking exactly down the same steps as this couple. And so we were basically in the same spot as this couple in the same place. And I didn't even know where it was and how it happened, but it happened just after like maybe 2 weeks after I printed out that photo. And that was how powerful it is. Like I can get exactly the same situation or experience. And we ended up, having a little romance that was beautiful.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's how visualization is powerful. Like I use it all the time. If I don't print it out, I imagine it in detail in my brain. Like
That's
it's not just visualization. I think it's all the like the smell, the sound, the touch, and everything. Just make it as real as possible for my body to feel it. Really, yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm used to say. To feel the future, to feel
yeah,
your future reality, to feel your future self is the key. And
yeah,
and the best way to feel it is to picture it with as much detail as possible. Like
yeah,
imagine that what I say to my clients, it's imagine that there is a film director who is in charge of creating what you want. So
exactly.
you have to create a set with all the details of that reality.
Yeah,
So um,
yeah.
what do you
Oh
picture
yeah,
there? Like the weather, the smell, the atmosphere, the color, the
yeah.
like what is there? Yeah.
Exactly. Like I've been taking theater classes, acting classes recently, and that's exactly what you said. Like we need to, in order to make it real, we need to really imagine, like in every single detail possible, what is this person experiencing? What is she feeling? Where she is and what she is seeing? What's her relationship with people? Like all this helped me so much in directing my own movie of my life. And I basically I have been working as an actress also, and I just feel it's such an exciting process because we're making reality or making something very real. It all just looks like pretending and acting, but it's we are creating realities like how J.K. Rowling, when she was poor single mom, living so humbly, she created this whole phenomenon with her imagination because there's so much detail in it. Like, and now it's manifested. It's the real Hogwarts here in the world. And she really became, this boy really became the person whose name everybody knows. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're all the time doing just without consciousness. Like most people are just directing a very bad movie of
Yeah.
their life without
And
knowing that they are the
yeah, without
director.
knowing that they're directing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you for that. And for the people who bought the premium package for this online summit, it's something that you're going to dig in about being sure about what you want to accomplish. So writing down
Mhm.
what you want to accomplish so that it's not in your mind anymore, it's on the paper and you can visualize it. And being clear
Mhm.
on what is limiting you at the moment and rewiring that in order to imagine how your future would look like so that you can talk about it, you can visualize it in details. And when
Yeah.
you do that, that's the beginning of the art of manifestation. And boom, there are the synchronicities that happen. Like the universe is just working with you in order to achieve that in a very easy, and fast way, and as you said, with this highland synchronicity that
Yeah.
manifested by itself, is like you don't know how it's going to happen, and it doesn't matter. That's
No.
the thing that is illogical and irrational. It's like you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. It's going to happen because
Yeah.
you nourish this idea, you nourish this vision, and it's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
Like, but don't wait
Yeah.
for it. It will come. So just focusing on nourishing that desire day after day.
Yeah. Like you don't know how, but just focus on what you want and what you can do every single day right now, and the universe finds the best, most efficient way to do it for you if we are consistent enough in this. Yeah. A
Exactly.
lot of things that seems like miracle, but it's like the result of accumulation of small actions.
True. Yeah, it's the tiny steps that
Yeah. Kind
um,
of steps.
and because you take action on your desire, then there's that boom that happened one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's go back to your journey, and
Okay.
so you wrote down those things that you wanted, and then you attracted this Bali opportunity. Then you came back to China,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
this is where you there is someone who asks for help, right?
Yeah. This
A
friend of
mother
mine who wanted to give birth at home, so I helped her. She gave birth.
at home.
Yeah. It
And
was
what
great.
happened then?
And then actually nothing happened for a few months because I
Mm-hmm.
moved back to Europe after that with my daughter, and I was trying to save my marriage by saying yes to my ex-husband, trying to go back to Europe, see if things are better. It went much worse, and I just decided to come back to China and work as a birth educator, because since then people have been like asking me, but I was like, no, I'm in Europe right now. I try to figure out my life, but then I was just I had no money and I didn't know what to do, and it seems just like dying with my ex-husband. He's not making money. He's not doing anything. It's just getting worse. So I just like, okay, I gave up any hope in Europe. I just go back to China. That's my root. That's my client's base, and that's where I'm respected and seen. In Europe, I'm totally like nobody. So I just went back to China, started flying from city to city to give workshops, because I just literally in the beginning I was just giving out a shout online saying, hey, who wants this birth workshop? And there was nothing like this at that time in China. And
Mm-hmm.
and because since then there has been some media coverage of my life and everything, so I just yeah, can took advantage of that and kind of start promotion a little bit. And I was very lucky all the way. I have had supports from people who did all this for me without charging any money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like, yeah, I got a lot of help from a lot of people who volunteered to organize things for me, who became my assistants and all that. So I was able to travel around and staying for free in many people's places and get all this amazing uh, experience and share my expertise. And yeah, so it all began like that. And
Okay.
but after a few months I was exhausted in China because it was too
So when
intense.
I just have two questions
Yeah,
before you keep going. Like when was that?
it
In
was
which year?
2016, so 4 years ago.
2016. Okay.
Yeah,
And how long did it last? Like that workshop trip?
like half a year.
Half a year. Okay.
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah,
Okay. You can keep going. It's just to see to
yeah.
put that in the
So
time frame.
after 6 months of working like this, like I make very good money, but I was exhausted because I was with my 2-year-old daughter, and my ex-husband went with me, but he was giving me more pain than help. Um, and I just decided, number one, I'm leaving him forever. I already left him twice before that, but I came back because it was number one, it was really hard for me to live alone with my daughter. Like I couldn't do anything. And number two, I still like there was emotional reasons. But at that point, I was really so desperate that just decided, okay, it's not gonna happen. I just give up this marriage forever. So I just decided to become a single mom at the end of this trip in China. And second, I decided to go back to Europe because that's where my only family is my mom. That's where she is. She married a European. So I want to go back and get help there because no one else in China can help me. I have clients in China, but they can't help me take care of my daughter. And if I don't have someone to help me take care of my daughter, I can't do anything. You know, I was still breastfeeding and taking my daughter
Mm.
everywhere with me on my body, and she's very close to me, and it's just not possible to do anything at all. So I went back to Europe, and a lot of people already started to ask me give more workshops by then, but I couldn't because I'm in Europe. I decided to live in Europe. And then a lot of people started to ask me, you know, why don't you give online workshops? But I was very resistant to the idea because my work is very much about body and hearts, and we need to do eye gazing and touch each
Yeah.
other. And I'm teaching dance. So how I couldn't imagine doing it online. And I didn't know about this online world. I was very much a low tech nature person. So I was just saying no in the first 6 months. But then after 6 months, my mom was stopping the financial support for me because it's been like almost 2 years. I quit my job and didn't make much money. Um, and she didn't see there's a future there. So she's kind of kicking me out. Um, and I just decided, okay, now it's really time to do something. And so I just decided to start saying yes to these online opportunities. And then it kicked off really fast. In the beginning, I was just doing like maybe 10 students in my class. I charged like $200 for one class. And then it went super, super well, amazingly. And I have over 100 clients in 3 months. And and then in the beginning, I was just talking about birth mainly, birth work. But then I realized so many people they really want to hear more about sex,
Hmm.
and also because I met this ex-boyfriend at that time, and I shared some of our sexual experience, and then it went viral as an article online in China. Like I have a website, but I only had like 300 subscribers in the beginning, and after this article came out, I it rolled to like 3,000 or something, and there was like over 10,000 views. And I was just like, my intuition told me that this is the way to go. So I started talk about more about sex, and actually I didn't have any sexual education or anything up until recently. Really,
Okay.
I was
I,
just
I want to
teaching.
pause that for a second, Link,
Yeah,
if you allow me,
yeah,
because you say something that's like from my point of view is very important for the audience.
yeah,
It's that from the moment you started to the moment it started to take off,
yeah,
there's been 2 years.
yeah.
So it's not like 2 weeks or 2 months. It's quite a
Well,
long
let's
time
say,
of.
yeah, let's say it's 1 year because I quit my job in 2015, but I only really started to work and make money starting from 2016. So it's like 1 year of empty space. But I
One
didn't
year
do
of
much
empty
really.
space.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
do much. I didn't try to do much. Like on in 2016 when I was traveling around and making workshops, I did make good money, but then I
Hmm.
stopped because of my emotional personal stuff. And then when I
Yeah.
started in 2017, from zero to like my first 100K, it was like 8 months or something. So it was really fast actually. Once I started to do something, but when I didn't do
Hmm.
anything, it was very like, of course, nothing can.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to highlight, like this 1 year period, or where you like you created money and then it went down again, and you left China, you went back to Europe, and it's also what I want to highlight here is there is a in life a process of saying goodbye to the old self that can take time, because as you said, you were in that relationship with your husband, and
Yeah,
it hasn't been easy or like this um, to allow
yeah,
yourself that it was over, and you had that emotional process that took time, and that made you create workshop and stop and go to Europe and stop that again. And so it sometimes takes time, and it's a painful place. I guess it has been a painful place that
yeah. It
we
was a
all
very
go
painful
through.
place, but I would say it has less to do with entrepreneurship, the
Mm-hmm.
journey of
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, and more
Yeah.
of my personal
Mm-hmm.
relationship with my ex-husband and my motherhood, like single motherhood. Like for any mother, the first few years, I would say 3 to 4 years, are the most difficult for any mother. Even if she has a lot of money, she has a great husband, she
Mm.
has all the support that she wants. I've worked with so many mothers. It's still very very hard. It's
Mm.
maybe the hardest year of a woman's life. You know, it's a huge change for her body. Her body is not hers anymore, and all this pressure she needs to get from the society and the closest people of her life because of the way she mother her kid. And every kid is different. Even the mother has a second time, it still could be hard for her. So it's everything together, really. I would say, like, from like this separation with my ex-husband, and the fact that I suffered a lot from his bipolar quality and domestic violence and emotional abuse, and the fact that I changed a whole new country where I don't even speak the language, and I left all my audience and my friends and people who see me behind and people who can give me money, and I left everything, really. And that's the combination of all that makes it so difficult, because if it's just entrepreneurship, it's very easy for me. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world. But I think it's mainly all that other stuff that make it so
Yeah.
difficult. Of course, I believe before any new stage of in an entrepreneurship, there's always it accompanies a kind of personal development. It must be some pain in your soul that that propels this change in your business or your entrepreneurship. So it's not really separable. But I would say in my case, it's very particular. It's
Mm.
like all the worst thing in the world happened all at once, and my
Mm-hmm.
health was really bad, and yeah, everything. And
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, because as an entrepreneur, I know that what I have to deal with first is my personal life.
yeah, yeah,
Because my personal life has an influence on my professional life, like for even if you're an employee anyway. But when you're
yeah,
an entrepreneur, it's even stronger, and your professional life has an impact on your personal one. There is no separation. So, what I
yeah,
wanted to highlight is that you've been, like, when you started your entrepreneurship journey, you were at the same time in a very painful place, and I don't like
I
it's
think
not the
it's the hardest
point.
climb of my life so far.
Uh-huh.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's to give hope to people who are in that situation right now.
yeah,
Just telling
yeah,
them that don't give up, and you can, maybe you're in a hard place right now, but like what we are going to talk about when your online business took off is that you have to, if you're there at the moment, it's because you're at the place where you have to say goodbye to this old self in order to create the new one. And the only way to say bye to this old self is to go through that pain,
yeah.
and until you
Well, it
reach
doesn't
that
need
point
to be
of
only pain
enough.
though. It could be
Yeah.
orgasmic, but yeah, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You don't need to suffer. There
Yeah.
could be pain, but not everyone needs to suffer like I did.
e-
I I think if
exactly.
I had a business coach at that time, it would help me enormously. I didn't have like I didn't have money to hire one, but I realized this journey is really really so tough. I really need some help in this. Like I would suggest anyone who want to begin this journey to get some help, even just an assistant, a VA.
So you say that you had a lot kind of resistance to go online because you didn't have the tech background, you didn't really know how to do it. So what helped you to start the online business?
It was mainly because I think my work is not transferable online because it's a lot about the physical thing and
Mhm.
the heart thing that I thought is not possible to have the same online. What helped me was really an invitation from a woman. She wants to invite me to teach. So I just said yes. She did all the marketing and all the work. She just need me to be speaking, and then she will be in charge of everything else. So I was like, okay, why not try? It's just like 1 hour. And then after that 1 hour, she asked me to record like 10 hours of audio for the students to make it an online course, like series. So after this, like a free webinar that we sell this, more expensive thing. So that's how it started. I just did what she asked me to do, and it rolled really well.
Okay. So again,
Yeah.
it was someone else who helped you
Yeah.
create another part of your business.
Yeah, I have been very lucky all the time. It's like I have been able to focus mainly on the things I really love to do. And there's always someone rolling the carpet in front of me,
Hmm.
kind of. Yeah.
Okay. So so this year in 2020, you experienced an exponential growth in your
Yeah.
business. So 3 years after starting the online business, you
Yeah.
hit your six figure or multiple six figure
Yeah.
in term of revenue. So can you tell us more about what allow you to experience that level of success financially speaking?
Yeah. So most important thing is I hired my first business coach ever. So I went to his class, although he's talking about the international market and has totally different approach than mine. In China, I use it still because it's about the art of connection with people, how to convert a stranger into a paid client, the art
Mhm.
of building a real relationship with clients before any sales happens. So that is a very profound thing for me. Although I've been doing it, but I haven't realized the value of my authenticity and my ability to connect with people, to create real relationship with people. That I'm not that salesy. I've never been salesy. I'm just like here to help people with a kind heart. And of course, um, there's some techniques that really help, but I think the main thing is really about clearing the blockage in me, the energetic blockage in me that has been prohibiting me to make more money, to
Mhm.
make the amount of money that matches my energy or frequency level. Because I've been told by a lot of people that I'm very worthy, I'm very expensive person, a precious person, and I should be making millions and millions. But I've been trying to sell myself. It's like they say the way I market myself is like trying to sell a diamond on a supermarket.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm putting myself in the wrong place. So first of all, I raised my price. I tripled my price. And second, I focus really more on digging deeper into the pain of people and trying to have a real connection with them and connecting them with their ideal state, where they want to go in their life, help them make their vision clearer. And then trying to convince them with all the testimonials I had, because I have been yielding amazing results with my clients, and I have no lack of evidence that my thing works. So it's just a combination of all this, and also energetically, I really just feel I've reached a state like I have enough pain in sales and marketing and all this work. Like I just don't want to spend so much effort anymore on selling on sales. So I just went to this training, and then it really speaks to me. In the end, I realized it's ultimately about the ability to connect with people with your heart and sell with your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and also energetically, I did a lot of cleansing in myself, and physically as well. I did some detox because I realized there's some limiting beliefs and energetic blockage and toxins in my body that didn't allow me to perform at my highest potential. Um, so I've been doing all this, like it's again very related to my personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love working with money so much nowadays. In my coaching, like I coach people on their relationship with wealth and all that, because I realize it's like sex. It's the most honest topic about where in our body or our mind we are trapped or
Mm-hmm.
blocked. It's a very honest and quantifying standard. Like you can quantify your personal growth by money. Although I'm not saying the most spiritual person makes the most money, but in my case, money, like how much money I make, is really reflecting, uh, like how my energy level is. Like sometimes I don't really need to use a lot of techniques in marketing, and I make a lot because my energy is there, and people are just attracted by my energy, and they will just buy it because they feel really good with me,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel they can gain that level of
Mm-hmm.
insights and energy state when they are with me.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I would say it's mainly energetic, like a plus a few techniques of sales. And then I reached my first 100K month. It's usually like six figures for a year, but that month I hit six figure in 1 month. But it's not just coming from the sales from my online class itself, it's also from my investment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also one very important part in entrepreneurship, because I feel if we attach too much importance to uh, making money to our business, like if it's so focused on money, or if money is it's such a big problem for our business, then it's so much more pressure. It's like having a baby. To create a business and sustain a business, it's like having birthing a baby and then raising the kids. It's much better when you don't have financial pressure, for the
Mm-hmm.
kids to grow in a healthy way. And that was my case in both raising a kid, birthing a kid, and starting my business. So it was really, I would say, if I could do it again, I would just, first of all, a first lesson I will learn in life is sex, because then I will know sex and love relationships, that because then I'll know what is the best time for me to start to be a mother, or to decide to have a baby. And then second is how to like my relationship with money. Basically, the most important topics I think for a woman is our relationship with our sex, with love, and then our relationship with money, our relationship with our body. Those are the most important things. And we didn't learn so much about all this, like how to invest money so that you can, be financially free. Most people can never work until they're financially free, until the very few people who
Mm-hmm.
work,
True.
really hard. We really need to learn how to invest. And I never learned anything about investment. And I grew up in a family where most people, at best, all their life, at best, they get 20% per year from stock market or something. But it was a lot of hustle, which I don't like. Very busy
Mm-hmm.
and always looking at the never feel grounded enough for me. But then when I started to invest, I learned how to invest from my students. A lot of students in my class are like, um, not a lot, actually, just several, but those several people taught me a lot. They share a lot with me about investment. So I get 60% per year since I started to invest on the second year of my entrepreneurship. So my financial success, big part of it came from the investment. And then since then, it's been more and more. So it's double, triple. Now I have the chance to make 10 times more in 1 year with the right investments, because I
When you
get to.
say When you say investment, what you're talking about exactly?
I'm talking about all kinds of products that you can invest in, cryptocurrency, real estate, stock market, you know, this kind of
Okay.
stuff, or
So
even
it's
even the most,
different source of revenues, not just one.
yeah, passive income.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't know anything about this. I thought the only way to get money is to work. To work means to be employed or you entrepreneurship or whatever. But it turns out that I'm having more passive income now than some of my months from my own work, and and it's so easy. I don't need to do anything about it. So it gives me actually more ease. Also, like at this stage, I can scale because financially freedom. I'm financially
Mm-hmm.
free because of my investments, so I can really raise my price, not being scared that nobody will sign up because I know my value and I only want to work when I want to work right now, not to just to make money. I used to work a lot harder just to make money from my work, but now I don't need to do that anymore. And when people feel that confidence, when people feel you're not trying to take their money, but you're really trying to help them, and that's your price, then actually people tend to sign up more, and you get more
Mm-hmm.
high quality clients. So I would say if I have a time turner, I will start to learn about investment at the age of 7. That's what I'm doing to my daughter right now. She's 6. I'm teaching her about investment and financial management right now because if we learn how to do this since a very young age, we can start to invest since a very young age. I'm giving my daughter money now and she's learning how to invest it in a good way. And she learns how to make money also now by doing what she loves. So I just feel like we just all, money is such a big, important facet in entrepreneurship. And most of us don't have a good relationship with it,
Yeah,
or we
and
don't have the right education about it. So I would definitely say learning about financial management, and investment is such an important part. And now we are faced with the biggest investment opportunity ever at our fingertips. Like you don't need to be a millionaire or whatever to make 100 times more
mm-hmm. True.
with some wise and sturdy, grounded investment. Just there's so many opportunities, and I didn't know about all this. If in 2009 I would be wise enough to talk to all these people who know more about Bitcoin, I would be like billionaire right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I didn't know. So I think this is a very important part. It doesn't need to have anything to do with your work, what you're investing in, as long as it's legal and it's a safe investment. I think we all need to learn about like management of money as a separate topic than your
Mm-hmm.
business. Like you can get good in your business and all that, but the money aspect is a totally different thing, and that we need to spend time and energy for. Yeah.
Okay. I have a last question about money
Yeah.
because there is that limiting belief in the spiritual world or community that money is bad. There is that thing that if you're grounded, if you're wide, if you go back to nature, then you don't need money, and there is that avoidance of money somehow in the and it's a stereotype, of course, in the spiritual world. So
Yeah.
on the opposite, how would you say that you, like as a spiritual being, how did money help you to grow you spiritually, like from a
Well,
spiritual point of view? How did money allow you to grow?
first of all, for me, making money is the most spiritual practice ever. It's like sex. You have nowhere to hide because it shows, like, if you're not honest, if people cannot feel they cannot trust you, or if you lack integrity, you cannot make money with your work. Like with investment, maybe, but I mean, money is a very honest reflection of how much in alignment you are, like your words and your behavior. At least in my work, if I'm not being a good person, if I'm not providing value, people are not going to pay me for that. And no matter how many followers I have on Instagram, sometimes I feel this whole thing about Instagram and social media is very fake because people can be showing all this beautiful thing outside and have very terrible life in real. And then, but in terms of like this work I'm doing, like this coaching, like it's really about how much I embody what I teach. People can feel it. People are not stupid. For the first time, yes, you can you can make some money, but we're not
The
here to
long
build a
term, yeah.
business. Yeah, in long term, we are here to build a business that can last. That makes you feel good about, and you can sleep well with your business. You don't take any black money or money that doesn't belong to you.
Hmm.
So I would say money for me is the most, making money itself is the most spiritual practice ever. It forces me to become a more responsible person because you take the money from people. It's an energy exchange. You need to be responsible for your words and your action. If you say you're doing this, then you really need to be doing this. If I say I'm financially free and I'm broke, actually in real, then it's not possible. Like I
Hmm.
cannot do that. It will be, the lie will be found out any, like, one
Yeah,
day. And then
I
all the
get
money you
that.
get, even if people would not take back the money, your trust is broken. If you don't have trust, you don't make any money in this world. So for me, it's really like there is this false belief about money because I think most of these people who say that they're not parents.
Mm,
Because if you say you're spiritual, then you need to do something, right, that supports your spirituality. If you don't even have a house, if you can't even feed your baby, and then you're avoiding making money by just meditating and chanting all this, which is what my ex-husband would do. He never make any money, but he keeps saying, oh, I'm after my spirituality. So he's just chanting, going to Hare Krishna community and do all this volunteer work all the time instead of making money and taking care of us. And I was the one who never talk about spirituality, who never go to any temple, but I'm making money every single uh, time, for us all the time. And who's the most spiritual one? From the outside, him. But I would say spirituality, unless it's grounded in real life, in everyday life, is not about all this thing, especially in Bali. We have a lot of self-claimed gurus and fake spiritual tourists that, you know, doing all this cacao ceremony and then sound healing, blah, 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 and then we're all spiritual. No, spirituality is about living every single day and every single moment in a mindful way, in a responsible way, with integrity. And in that sense, I think a lot of locals who don't even know this word spirituality are more spiritual than all these spiritual teachers out there from the West.
true.
The way they do the housework, the way they take care of the garden, the way they treat children and any stranger, the kindness and humility that they embody is the real spirituality. And also, the more I evolve and the more money I make, the more responsibility I feel to the world. Like the more I want to help more people. And to help all these people, like in this pandemic, so many people in Bali lost their job. And I donated more than 1 million rupees. And it helped feed a lot of family who are dying of hunger. So if you want to be spiritual, you need to have money to help it to do real things, or at least to have basic needs met. So
Yeah.
it's totally bullshit that we don't need money. And I
And if
think
you,
most people don't find the motivation to make money because they don't really connect, or they avoid the connection between having a real good life and money. So um, yeah, I would say money is not the most important thing. It can't buy us everything, but without money, we can't do anything. Everything takes money.
that's true. And
We,
money is an energy. So if you're a
yeah,
spiritual, like you define yourself as a spiritual person, and then you refuse money or you don't allow money to come in your
yeah,
life, it's like you're
yeah,
this abundance of money that is yours because it's just an energy, and you're saying no
yeah,
to that. So you are limiting your spiritual being to grow
yeah,
even more
yeah.
because
Like,
you limit yourself.
yeah. And also, once I have more money, I have more free time because in my case, money does buy time. Like,
Mhm.
I can employ a nanny to take care of my daughter, so I have some free time. I can employ a whole team to do the marketing for me right now, so I don't need to spend time on this, which I don't really like doing. I just focus on my spiritual practice and whatever that makes me feel good. And that makes me more spiritual in a way, like that gives me more space really to meditate instead of making decisions based on the basic needs, the physical, financial needs. And that helps me to serve people more from my heart, more from the higher good, instead of thinking, oh, I need to make money and all that calculation. And you know I'm in a lower vibration or a lower dimension when
Hmm.
I don't have enough money. So
Thanks.
it's a
Thanks for that.
totally different, yeah, dimension, totally different energy and value I can provide to people when I'm financially struggling or financially free.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ling. Thank you for
You're
highlighting
welcome.
that. Talking about your journey, like simply following your desire, being clear on what you want. I like the fact that you say like write it down, create a vision board, visualize it. You don't know it's going to happen, and grow. Like it's not just about your business; it's also about yourself. Like grow first, and then you can grow your business. Um, like because you allow money to come in and to flow, then there is a better flow within you as well.
Yeah,
And thanks to the money, like money is not an end goal, it's a mean goal. So money allow you to do things. It's not the money itself that is important, it's what you can do, like
yeah,
the good and
the freedom.
virtue, the freedom that you can create out of money, that is important. The money is nothing, it's just a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
So
it's a
thank you for
tool.
highlighting that. Yeah, it's a tool, and
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's like how much money do you make in order to sustain yourself and create and be aligned with the true life that you want to live. So thank you for highlighting that. Do you have a last word for people who are watching us right now who um, who are not there yet and want to follow more that desire for money, but they're kind of limiting themselves towards it, or they have a desire to create a business out of intuition, but they're again limiting themselves towards
hmm,
it because they're afraid of what can
yeah.
happen next.
In my case, you just said by simply following your desires, but in my case, it's not wholly so. For me, my journey, as you say, is very much initiated by others. I'm following the call of others' need. Of course, people have been like I have been a sex coach, and now I'm a wealth coach because I saw the need of people. They need to learn how to make money. And then I've been doing that, but also I've been following some high level clients, like some high end clients calling, who has asked me, you need to turn to spirituality now because actually there are a lot of rich people in China. They have not reached your state of spirituality and they need your guidance and they're willing to pay a lot of money. So I'm like, oh, okay, that I didn't think about, but that's definitely something I can do. And so now I've been like changing directions and I will be launching a new program for 100K per person, an online mastermind. And it's only like most of the direction change in my life that push me to be a better and better person and push my business higher and higher is because I'm responding to the need in the world. So I believe your business will go the best. It's like two opposite forces, and one is your deepest desire, um, and the other is the deepest thirst or need of the world. You need to find that place where these two meets. It's not all the time opposite, I would say, but it's like we need both to balance ourselves. We can't just follow our own desire.
Okay.
So yeah,
And talking about that sweet spot between what you love to do, what you're passionate about, and how you can serve other at the same time is
yeah,
what a lot of people call ikigai. And I invite people to look at that topic online if you're still looking for your purpose. That ikigai thing is so powerful. Like finding the sweet spot between what you're good at, what you love, what the world needs, and how you can get money out of it. It's a simple list of those four topics and
Yeah.
crossing the topics and finding the, oh,
Yeah.
maybe there is something to do for me there. It's like I invite people to look for the ikigai if they're still figuring out, if they really don't know who they are and they want to know themselves better. This ikigai
Yeah.
exercise is really powerful. So
Yeah.
thank you very much, Ling, for your
You're
time.
welcome.
I
Yeah.
invite people to connect with you on your social media channel. You have the link on the
Yeah.
email that announced the interview, so that you
Mhm.
can be in touch with Ling and follow the rest of her journey. Thank you very much again. I really appreciate the discussion we had about spirituality, money, um, following your desire and the whole life journey around entrepreneurship. I wish you to have a good day, and I look forward to hearing
Yeah.
back from you.
Great. Have a nice day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.